Sorry. Thank you. So we said there are the three goals for implementation of Lean Six Sigma. Why we do it? Reduce the defects to reach a level of less than 3.4 defects per million opportunities or transactions. If you will see on page 13, I have shown you this table yesterday. Before we implement Six Sigma in our processes, the Sigma level for the process is generally around 3, which means our defects are around 6%. And if you convert it to this 6.68% to per million, how will we do that? We will say 6.68%, that means 6.68 divided by 100 and multiplied by million. So it becomes, for a million transactions, it becomes 66,800. The purpose of converting per cent to per million is to highlight or magnify the defects. Purpose is to magnify the defects, and 6.68 may look small as a defect percentage, but when you say 66,800 defects in 1 million transactions, that gets highlighted. Say, if you look at an organization like Amazon, they may be, or say DHL, they may be handling maybe 1 million packages in a month. So 3 sigma is 66,800 defects, which is very high, and it is likely to affect a large number of customers. Today, most organizations operating at minimum 4 sigma is a challenge that has to be minimum achieved. That means if we are at 4 sigma, we are about 0.6% defects, 0.62%, and we are, it means around 6,200 defects per million. Further target would be to go to 5 sigma, that is 0.023% defects or 230 defects per million. So many industries today, like the automobile industry, electronics industry, even in healthcare, hospital, the target is to reach at least 5 sigma level of quality, which means we will be making about 0.02 defects or 0.2%, 0.23% or 230 per million. But the ultimate goal is go to 6 sigma, which is 0.00034% defects or 3.4 defects per million. So I have yesterday also shown you one graph on page 42, where I've shown you that average company, if they are not following 6 sigma, they will be somewhere here between say 2.7 to 3.5 sigma. But they will definitely be performing better if they are able to go to 5 sigma. At least 5 sigma is a benchmark which is considered for most organizations in terms of the performance level. Goal is to go to 6 sigma, but minimum going to 5 sigma is important. So we will go back to page 21. So here I was telling you about the goals of Lean Six Sigma. To reduce the defects to reach the 6 sigma level, eliminate waste in the processes, and increase satisfaction and delight Delight is a more important word because satisfaction is that customer is accepting the performance. Delight is he is happy with the performance. So our goal is to have happy customers, not only satisfied customers, both internal and external. That's why we are saying delight the customer. The ultimate goal in these efforts is to increase the ROI or profits for the organization and typical expectation from teams working on Six Sigma projects is that they will achieve certain savings because of the project. Now, how are the savings achieved? When we reduce the defects, our cost of rework goes down. So that is a saving. We save man hours. That is a saving. We save materials. That contributes to the saving. We eliminate the 8 waste. There are 8 types of waste which are part of lean. We will talk about it. We eliminate the 8 waste. So that will again improve profits. When the external customers are happy, we will have more sales. That will also increase our profitability. So overall, implementation of the Lean Six Sigma project leads to more sales because of happier customers, lesser defects, less losses of man hours and materials, and elimination of the 8 waste. So all this ultimately leads to savings, and that's why yesterday we talked about increasing the profits or return on investment, the ROI for the organization through the Six Sigma project. These are guidelines. This is general expectation that a team that undertakes to carry out a Six Sigma Green Belt project would generally save about, per project, they should save about 0.25 million USD. And Black Belt project, they would generally save about 0.5 million USD per year. The savings are calculated on per year basis. So I will share with you one example of how we calculate the savings out of the project. So here, normally at the end of every project, the savings are calculated, and these are certified by the concerned department, the concerned finance department in the organization. The savings are calculated, and these are shared by the team with the finance department, and those savings are reconfirmed by the finance department to establish whatever claim we are making regarding the savings. So these savings can be shown in different ways. So this is, for example, a project done long, long ago. This is a company in Saudi. This is Johnson Controls. They are in building automation and air conditioning projects for large buildings, for hospitals, hotels, airports, and so on. So this was a project undertaken by one of their team, and this was an example of a black belt project. Increase in technician output. So this project, a very old project, started in June 2008 and completed in March 2009. So this was the team, and the savings for the project were calculated and certified by the finance. So these are the savings that they have achieved in this project. So revenue per technician per hour for the production team, this was about 98 riyal per technician per hour. And on completion of the project, this went up to 145 riyal. That means about 47 riyal increase per hour per technician. Total available technician hours was 1664. So this status, the increase in revenue was 1664 into 145. So that's about 4.3 million riyals. And this was then, savings was assumed as 30% of the gross profit because of this increase in revenue, which was considered as 1.29 million for 8 months. And then this was increased to, it was extrapolated to 12 months. So 8 months was 1.29 million. This was extrapolated to 12 months, which was 1.9 million. And then because of the increase in productivity, the additional recruitment which they wanted to do in the next year, that was avoided. So that added to the cost saving of another 225.22 million. So total benefit out of this project was 2.1 million riyal from this particular project. And this is the project. So there were 2 black belt team members who worked together on the project. And this is the saving confirmed by the champion, that is the process owner, and the final validation by the finance director. That is, so this is the certification which ultimately shows the benefit out of the project. So this kind of calculation you are supposed to do at the end of the project. We have other examples. I will share one more example with you. This was our black belt. This lady had done the project in UAE. She was working with the Abu Dhabi police. And this was a mail which she had sent me about a few months after the project, because this project they had presented in one particular event in Dubai. So this was, they had participated in an international symposium of best police practices. This was held in Dubai, and where more than 50 security bodies participated. This project was related to reducing the reported time for DNA cases using the Lean Six Sigma. It was adjudged as the second best project among 50 participants. They got the second prize. So this was regarding the time taken.
No.
Sorry?
No,
Can
okay.
are you able to see my screen? Are you able to see the screen? Any question?
Excuse me, for the.
Can you see the screen? Any question?
We can see the screen for this one, but
Yeah,
for the
okay.
previous example, we didn't receive.
So this was a project where the, let us say, crime has occurred. So
No. Inspector.
hello.
No.
Yeah, any question? So this was regarding the time taken to send the report to the respective police station after the crime. And earlier this used to take about, for the report to reach, about 30 days. And as per the law there, till the report is received, the person was not granted bail. So with this project, there was a tremendous reduction in the reporting time, something from 30 days to about 10 days. So these kinds of things can be achieved by implementing the Six Sigma projects. And the methodology we are using here is the DMAC methodology.
Baby. Hi. Come here.
Hello.
Into a personal bathroom. İşte kararlı muhafaza etmemiz ve diğer ofisler public.
Majan, can you mute, please? Okay. So these kinds of savings can be achieved through the projects. And the teams are typically the master black belt, who is the consultant for the team. This is either from the organization like ours, or the master black belt could be a senior black belt within the organization who has completed many black belt projects. And the project leader could be the black belt or the green belt. The yellow belt supports the green belts in doing the projects. So yesterday I had asked you to do a reading on this. I will give you a quick look on the structure of the team. What is the organization structure? So this is the leader of the project, this BBL or GBL, this is the black belt leader or the green belt leader, reporting to the process owner, whom we call as the champion. And the champion reports to the top management, whom we call as the implementation leader. As I told you, the projects are all responsibility overall is with the champion reporting to the top management, that is the implementation leader. And if it's a green belt project, the project is led by a green belt leader. If it's a bigger project, then it's a black belt leader. And under the leader, there's a cross-functional team of the green belts and some yellow belts. And the master black belt, as I told you, would be a consultant who will help the team to implement the project. Normally, once people have done some projects, they can learn to do it on their own, but initially they need some support while using the tools of Six Sigma. So this support is provided by the master black belt, and it is called as the mentoring support. So master black belt is the mentor for the project. So here you will, I will show you another slide. Showing the roles of the different belts. Sharing another slide with you. Give me a moment. So yesterday I asked you to do one reading. Have you read about these rules?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I'm so here you will see the roles of the. So as I told you, the projects are normally led by the black belt and supported with the cross-functional team of the green belt, or it could be a green belt leader supported with a cross-functional team of green belts and yellow belts, and champion who is the process owner who reports to the, he's the overall leader. He reports to the implementation leader, that is the top management, and master black belt is the mentor who supports the team during the project implementation. And as I told you, the outcome is measured in terms of the savings achieved out of implementing the project. So these are how we are implementing the projects, and we have the savings calculations, which I have just shared with you. This is normally done in DMAC in the last phase, that is in the control phase. Now we will go back to page 22 of our course material. So here this is showing a history of how different organizations have implemented Six Sigma. As I told you yesterday, it started in USA in 1986. The first organization who did this was Motorola. Of course, it was not for the handset. Motorola has never been serious about the handset business. When we say Motorola implemented Six Sigma, it was in the communication division. And that too they had to do because they were facing a lot of competition from the Japanese companies. And they had to do something different to continue their survival in the business. Then they got good success. So they were followed by IBM in 99. 91, Kodak and DEC got into Six Sigma. Then ABB, 93. Allied Signal, GE was the, I think we all know GE Group. They were the first to start Six Sigma in service businesses. Till that time, it was being done only in manufacturing. And then the maybe other companies in manufacturing and services started implementing Six Sigma, as you can see here. But here you will also see two names who achieved Six Sigma performance, but at some stage they deteriorated, and today they are not that strong the way they were at that time after Six Sigma. So can you recognize two names here which have deteriorated in the business after some years?
I think Kodak and GE.
Sorry?
Kodak and GE General.
Yeah, Kostas.
Hi.
So one is
I
Kodak.
think Kodak also.
Yeah.
Yes,
So what
yes.
happened?
And the
Yeah.
other, I
What
think,
happened
General,
to Kodak?
I think bankrupt.
Yeah, but what was the real reason? The reason was they did not adopt the digital technology.
The new technology. Yeah, the new technology. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So with time, it is very necessary for organizations to innovate and change, but they did not change. And this also happened to Nokia. When,
Nokia. Okay.
yeah, when companies like Samsung, they adopted the Android technology, Nokia did not move in time. So why we are giving you this example that even you may be a Six Sigma company, but it doesn't mean that it is your insurance for success in the sense that we have to
It's
keep up
not
with the
cheap.
times, we have to be innovative and change
Yes,
with the
yes.
times. So that as the technology changes, we have to be up to date. Otherwise, we can deteriorate, which is what happened in case of Kodak and Nokia. These are examples of some different types of organizations using Lean Six Sigma. It includes companies in India, also in Saudi Arabia. We have worked with many of these companies in India and in Saudi Arabia and in UAE. So Six Sigma works everywhere. That is our experience. These are examples of different business sectors where Six Sigma is used today. So these are, you can see here, airlines, defense, automobile industry, batteries, financial services, call centers, construction business, engineering industry, healthcare, IT, jewelry manufacturing, other manufacturing, pharma, telecommunication, and so on. So there is a big list of industries which are today using, or businesses which are using Lean Six Sigma successfully. A very important requirement for Six Sigma companies is the cross-functional cooperation. I've been talking of, when I talked of the project team, I have talked about the cross-functional cooperation. That is the cooperation between the different departments. They have to collaborate and deliver value to customer. So value to customer is what customer wants. In any organization, the organization is divided into departments. So you will have design, sales and marketing, purchase and stores, human resources, production, operations, various departments. So these departments have their department-wise goals, which are called as functional goals. The top management works with all the departments and jointly they are able to achieve the management goals. Now, management goals are different from the department goals. Department goals or functional goals are what you see above, like there are targets for design, for sales, for purchase, stores, human resources, production, operations, and so on. But management goals are the overall goals like profitability of the organization, sales turnover, market share, share prices, and so on. So far as our customer is concerned, he is not concerned with whether our management has achieved their goals or improved their performance in terms of management goals like profitability or market share. Customer is also not concerned with our departmental goals. What is customer concerned with what value the organization delivers to the customer. So that's what we are saying here, that achievement of functional goals and management goals are not important for the customer. Customers are more interested in value. So how do we deliver value to the customer? That is through delivering the QCD. Now this concept has come in Six Sigma from Toyota. This was initially introduced by Toyota. So, which is called as QCD, or it's also called as SQCD. So that is in quality, we have quality of the product, safety or security of the customer. We say safety if it's a physical safety, and security of the data. Then quality of support, how we support the customer before the sale and after sale service. That is quality of support. So quality of support, that is service before and after the sale, quality of the product, safety, security of the customer, at what cost we deliver, and do we deliver on time, our schedule. That is D. So originally Toyota used to call this as QCD. Nowadays this is modified to SQCD, that is safety, quality, cost, and delivery. Now these goals are helping the organization to deliver value to customers. Which department is responsible to deliver these goals? What do you think? Which department in the organization?
All the departments.
You're absolutely right. It is a joint goal. Various departments have to work together if they have to deliver on time, if they have to give a good quality, if they have to give a good support. So that is why these goals are called as cross-functional goals. So these are different from what you have seen on the previous page. Cross-functional goals are different from the department goals, that is functional goals. They are different from the management goals, that is like profitability, sales turnover, and so on. Cross-functional goals are what is actually value for customer. And these are delivered by the cross-functional teams. So that is why Six Sigma projects, the team members are also cross-functional team members, because any change we want to make in the process, it will involve the various team members from different departments. So this is very important as a cross-functional cooperation. So we don't divide the department into boundaries. So it's called as a boundaryless collaboration, and this is a cultural change which is required while implementing Lean Six Sigma. Otherwise, you will find many times in the organizations, people have a tendency to blame each other. The departments tend to blame each other for faults, defects, delays, and so on. But the culture in a Six Sigma organization is that the teams, cross-functional teams, work together to deliver value to customer. And this is defined as the Toyota's corporate philosophy, which was initially adopted by Toyota for lean management, but today this is followed by all companies implementing Lean Six Sigma. So what is this philosophy? Assuming that the ultimate aim of a company is to achieve the management goals. Assuming that this is self-evident, the next important goal of the company should be such cross-functional goals as, so what I told you, product quality, PQ, support quality, SQ, safety, security, cost, and delivery. So this is the philosophy of Toyota, and which is today the philosophy of Lean Six Sigma. If we focus on achieving these QCD goals through cross-functional cooperation, then profits will follow on an ongoing basis. So this is an example of what happens in an organization or in a project where the cross-functional communication is missing. This is an example of an IT project. So what the customer explained, what the project leader understood, how the engineer designed, how the programmer wrote the programs, how the sales executive described the project, how the project was documented, what operations installed, how the customer was built, how the help desk supported, this is the support quality, and what the customer really needed. So what the customer explained, what the salesperson described, and what the customer really needed. So this gap can be seen here because there was a gap in the cross-functional communication. So this is QCD is a very important requirement in the Six Sigma projects. We can do one small exercise here. In your Excel sheet, we have this template, and let us have the answers from you. So let's say we are talking of a construction project. So you can see my Excel. So this is an example of a construction project. So what would come under, let's say you are responsible for the success of a construction project. So what would come under service quality, safety and security? That is part of quality. What would be the support quality before execution? What would be the support quality after execution? What would come under cost? Examples, you have to give examples. And what would come under delivery? So quality in terms of the project. What is important here for the customer?
To build as per the specification.
We can call it the product quality, safety, security, and support quality before execution, after execution. Can I have some examples from you? Because some of you are into construction projects.
Yes, yes. What shall I tell you?
Yeah, so what would be included in the product quality in your construction project, what you deliver to the customer? Say, for example,
Specification.
yeah,
The
okay,
specification.
yes, right. Specifications, okay. So when you say specification, it would be how
The
well you are,
quality. Hmm.
say, accuracy,
Yes.
okay. Then what else? The quality of materials,
Yes, the baseline,
sorry,
the schedule, I think, the schedule.
I can't hear you. Can you
put
increase
the
your
schedule
volume?
up then.
Schedule, okay. So schedule, where will it
You
go?
put,
Schedule will come here,
yes,
delivery,
yes, at the end. Yes,
yes, yeah.
the baseline, yes. Uh, specification.
Support
The
quality before
safety, the
execution.
safety. The quality before execution is the.
I can't hear you. Can you
drawing?
just can you increase your Mr. Kostas? Can you increase your volume?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
No problem. Yes, yes.
Yeah, now it's
Before execution, the quality is the.
Yeah, what is the
issue?
important for the customer as a support before execution? So if there is some,
The design. I don't.
okay, yeah, right. So design confirmation, you can say.
Yes.
Then what else? Before execution, what else will be important for the customer? If there is any difference in understanding, those differences should be removed. No differences.
Yes, yes. To provide clarifications. Yes, yes.
Provide.
Clarification.
Yeah, right. So clarifications, very right. Okay. What is the support after execution?
Is the closeout package? Is all the documentation about quality? Is all the
Okay, documentation.
The documentation, yes.
Yeah, documentation, and it could also be related to the warranty performance.
Warranty and training, maybe training.
Right.
Even
Okay, yes,
if
very
there is
important.
a facility,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Training, yes. The
What?
operation, yes.
training,
Training.
right. And how does the cost play a role here? So we are giving all this good quality of product and quality of support at a reasonable cost.
Competitive, no,
Yeah,
reasonable.
okay.
Yes,
So competitive. Right. And of course, giving as per the schedule. So adherence to the target date. So schedule is.
Yes, target date.
Yeah. So
Yes, completion date, yes, end of contract, yes, yes.
Right. That is very important. So these are examples of what the customer wants from us in terms of the quality of product. What about safety? So safe practices by your
people? Yes, safety requirements.
Okay, so safety requirements.
Yes.
So this would all go under the
security requirements.
Yeah, okay. So safety and also security requirements.
Security.
Right. So this should go under the product qualities, safety, security requirements. That's all part of quality. Then support before execution, support after execution, competitive cost, and delivery on time. So all these become part of that is what leads to success of the project and satisfaction of your customer. So I think Yas has told me that we'll have a prayer break at 7 p.m. So we can have a 15 minutes prayer break right now, and we will continue after this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. On. Online and पानी में नहीं छड़िया नहीं ये लखनऊ पूरी अच्छा बिना वो ना दिखे बोला ये तो सी पूरी अच्छा पूरी फाइनल then ये लखनऊ एक लाख तक काम करके पूरी Tiene ya tengo pero en pasa pero पानी सादा ठंडा
सादा बस एक तो पानी से जाओ इकट्ठे कमरे सफोकेशन भी बहुत है एसी चलाओ तो ठंड लगती है इतना हाई एसी चलता है
एसी चलाते हैं घर कंबल लग गया फिर आपकी तो बंद कर इतना लास्ट मंथ कितना महंगी उसकी पैकिंग में 1800 दे रहा है
तो ये finding in difficult to stay in this.
मौसम भी बड़ा है
एक एक्सटेंडेड बिना मतलब करके बियर प्लस करें
Hmm? Well, देखा था यूनिट पे ही लगी हो यूनिट खाना ना everything will be consumed. Hmm. Everyone is back, I presume.
Yes, we are back. Yeah, I'm back.
So now we are going to fourth chapter. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Vakas, for confirming. Now we'll go to fourth chapter. Here we are going to learn a new concept. Yesterday we have talked about CTQ. So what did we say? What is CTQ? CTQ is
Critical to quality.
critical to quality. Those factors which have those features or those quality characteristics which have major impact on satisfaction of the customer. Those are our CTQs. Yesterday we talked about 80-20. We said the few factors which have more impact on the satisfaction of customer. Those we said are CTQ. How do we derive the CTQ? CTQ is derived from voice of customer, VOC. So we take the feedback of the customer and from there we derive the CTQs. We will go back to page 10. Just go back to page 10. In Six Sigma, we are actually talking of 4 types of voices. Page 10. So one is VOC, that is voice of customer, that is the feedback which we get from customer or the features which are very important for satisfaction of the customer. From there we get the CTQs. Then there is voice of business. What are the goals of the organization in terms of the business? What are the priorities? Such as profitability and cost reduction. So this is voice of business. If you are running a business, we must satisfy the customer, that is voice of customer. We must also achieve the business performance. So business performance is important in terms of profitability, cost reduction, and so on. That is voice of business. Then there is VOE, that is voice of employees. So engagement or involvement of the employees, involving them in the improvement efforts, what we are doing through the Six Sigma projects, by engaging them. So that is voice of employees. So their employee insights and feedback. And then there is voice of process. Voice of process is the process data and process performance. So how our process is performing and looking at the process data, how we can take actions for improving the performance of the process. So that is our voice of process. So these 4 types of voices are there. Most important is voice of customer, satisfaction of customer. Then voice of business, because we are doing everything for running the business. Employees are supporting the processes and data of the process helps us to take decisions to improve the process. Now, CTQ is critical to quality, which we have to deliver to the customer. Now we will look at CTP. So what is CTP? So page 30, we are talking of the process approach. This is again a Toyota philosophy. The right process will produce the right results. If our way of doing the process is clearly defined and we are doing it in the right way, we will always get the right result. That is the Toyota philosophy which we are using in Six Sigma. So this process approach is also represented as a model. It is called as the process model. So we have the output. Y. Output is what is going to the customer. So this is our critical to quality, CTQ. So output of the process, what goes to customer, what is critical to quality, that we are calling as the CTQ, critical to quality, because this output goes to customer and satisfaction of customer depends on the CTQ. Now the CTQ or the output Y depends on number of inputs and factors. So we are talking of inputs and factors. So this output we are writing as Y and inputs and factors we are writing as X1, X2, X3, so whatever up to Xn. So Y is the dependent variable. Y is depending on the X's. X is the independent variable. Independent variable means we can modify X, we can change X. And if we have to change Y, we will have to change X because Y is an output. To change the output, we have to change the performance of the inputs and these controllable factors, which we are writing as X1, X2, X3, so on up to Xn. These are the inputs and controllable factors. So Y is the effect, X's are the causes. Now out of these X's, some X's will have major impact on Y. Those X's we call as CTP. So what is CTP? The vital few X's that have major impact on the Y. The vital few X's that have major impact on the Y, these are the CTPs, critical to process. So we write this as Y is function of X1, X2, X3, so on up to X. And Y depends on number of X's. Out of these, some X's will have more impact on Y. Those are our, again, 80-20, Pareto. Those important X's which will have more impact on Y, those are our critical to process or CTP. So if we improve the performance of the X, we will be able to improve performance of Y. A simple example would be a person has to reduce his weight. Let us say present weight is 90 kg and he has to reduce 15 kg. So CTQ is reduce 15 kg. Why this is a CTQ? It is critical to quality for his health. If he will reduce his weight, his health will improve. So that is the CTQ. And this CTQ will depend on the two things, diet and exercise. So both are measurable. CTQ is measurable, CTPs are measurable. What are the measurable CTPs? Diet and exercise. So if we reduce the calorie intake, his weight will reduce. If we increase his exercise, his weight will reduce. So the CTQ is the Y, that is the weight, which is depending on the calories consumed and exercise. How will we measure exercise? So we can measure in minutes, so many minutes of exercise. How will we measure diet? We'll measure in calories. So Y is the weight, that is the CTQ, which is depending on exercise in minutes and diet in calories. So if we change or reduce the diet, the calories, increase the exercise, it will have an impact on the CTQ, that is the reduction of the weight, which will be help for improving its health. So this is the concept of CTQ and CTP. Now I will share one exercise with you. Now this is an Excel exercise. It is there in your attachment of Excel. This is the 16th tab. So we are taking an example here. This is student example. So student of 10th standard, say in his 10th standard exam, he achieved 60% marks. So he is not very satisfied or happy, because after 12th standard, he has to join some good university or good college. For that, he should achieve good marks in 12th standard. So now, so in 10th he got 60%. Now his CTQ is critical to quality for his career, that he must achieve 85% marks in the 12th standard. So we are saying Y, that is CTQ, 85% marks is depending on different X1, X2, X3, so on up to N. And here we have made a list of X's on which Y can depend. For example, study material, practice of exam papers, time management, percentage attendance in college, coaching class, number of divisions, concentration in class, health, good sleep, healthy food, avoid social media, self-analysis, learning from others, doubt clarification with teachers, hard work, confidence, grasping power. So these are different factors and inputs which will help him to achieve the CTQ, that is improve his marks. This, how have we got this? We have got this from, maybe we have done the brainstorming with the student, maybe we have discussed with the teachers, previous experience, previous knowledge. We have made this list of X's on which Y will depend. Now here, what is this C, MC and NCI? C is controllable.
Mr. Singh, excuse me, can you
So-
share your screen?
Controllable, that means you can, for example, study material. Is it in his control? Yes, he can choose the study material. Exam papers which he has to practice, it is in his control. Time management is in his control. Coaching classes is in his control. What is not in his control? Maybe health. Health, maybe that is not in his control. It's not controllable. But what is not controllable, we need to see, can it be influenced? So yes, health is not controllable, but he can influence it. How he will influence it? By proper diet and exercise. Then grasping power maybe he cannot, he is born with a certain grasping power, but yes, he can develop it. So this also can be influenced. So like this, we are identifying those factors and inputs which may not be in his control, but maybe he can influence them. So these are two factors which can be influenced, and these are in his control. Now, out of this complete list, you have to decide the top 5. Out of these axes, which 5 will have major impact on the CTQ? CTQ is he has to achieve 85% marks in the 12th standard exams. So out of this list of axes, you have to identify 5 axes which are critical to process, CTQ, which will have most impact on the CTQ. So you have to decide, tell me, then I will change the color of the font of those 5 axes. Those we will say are CTP or critical to process.
Mr.
So
Singh,
discuss with each other and tell me.
Mr. Singh, can you share your screen, please? Can you share your screen? Excuse me. Can you share your screen, please?
So which out of these are CTPs, critical to process?
Can you please share? Can you share your screen, please?
Can you increase your volume, please? I can't hear you.
So he's telling that, can you share your screen, please? We cannot able to see your screen.
I've shared the screen. Anyway, let me share it again. Okay. So what have we said? Student of 10th standard got 60% marks. CTQ is to get 85% marks in 12th standard. We are rating CTQ as Y. Y is function of X1, X2, X3 up to Xn. X1, X2, X3, these are the inputs and factors on which Y depends. So we have made a list here. And 2 out of these we said are not controllable. So you can influence them to some extent. But remaining 15 are controllable. So now your job is to identify the top 5 most important out of these 15 or 17 that will be critical to process. That is your task. So you can talk to each other and list the top 5 in the chat window. Okay, so X1, that is study material. X2, practice of exam papers. X6, number of revisions. X5, coaching class. X14, doubt verification with teachers. Okay, so X1, then X2. Now this is what is given by Hashmi. Mr. Hashmi has given this. You may have some other answers or you may agree. We are just trying to take it as an example. So we will go with his answers. So X6, then X5. And X14. Mr. Costa has taken X2, that is practice of exam paper. X3, that is time management. X4, that is attendance in college. X9, that is good sleep. X7, concentration class. Yeah, these also could be important. So normally what we will do, we will brainstorm and take the opinion of the group and shortlist these causes. So let us say we have taken these 5. Now these are our vital few X's. If he takes care of this, he has the proper study material, he practices the exam papers, he attends coaching classes, he does number of revisions, he clarifies doubts with his teachers, or let us say what Mr. Costas has added, like time management, he manages his time very effectively, his attendance in college, that also can be critical to process. So like that, we have selected 5 critical to process, which will have major impact on the Y. The Y is to get 85% marks. So he has now found the CTPs. By improving the CTPs, he can achieve the CTQs. So here you will see. So what we will do after we have found these CTPs, we will go for root cause analysis to see how he can improve. For example, study material, maybe he doesn't have the best study material, how he can improve his practice of exam papers, which coaching class he should join, what effort he should do for clearing doubts with teachers, and so on. So this, through root cause analysis, he can find out where he has to make improvement in the process. Also, he can do benchmarking. What is benchmarking? Benchmarking is
To check other examples, good
By
examples.
comparing
good
with
practice.
other competitors.
learning from others. So the people who are performing well, adopting their best practices, that is called as benchmarking. So there are some other students who are doing very well. We can learn how they do the time management, what exam papers they are using for practice. So by benchmarking, he can improve his process with regard to the X2, X3, and so on, and improve the performance of his wife. So these are called as the CTPs, critical to process. Now, in the book, there's an example here, an exercise for you. Think of your immediate customer, internal or external. This can be maybe your boss can also be considered as an internal customer. It could be your boss, or it could be some customer. So customer means external. and senior would be internal customer. So think of your immediate customer, internal or external. Then list one CTQ critical to quality to satisfy your senior. What is you have to take care critical to quality, and list 3 CTPs to achieve the CTQ. List 3 CTPs which we will focus to achieve the CTP. For example, submitting the report on time. Let us say you are required to submit the report on 3rd of every month. So that is a CTQ, critical to quality. And so to satisfy your senior, what will be critical to process? You should have all the data with you by 2nd of the month so that you can prepare and submit the report on 3rd of the month. That is critical to process. Then what else is critical to process? One is the senior. So giving him the report on time, that is one CTQ. The CTQ is giving the report on time. Critical to processes, having all the data available with you. Then critical to quality could be accurate report. So what would be CTP for accurate report, critical to process?
To have correct data.
I can't hear you. Can you increase your volume, please?
Yes, to have the correct data, to check the data.
So the critical to quality will be the for accuracy, what will be the CTP? Critical to process?
To have the correct data,
One minute, I think I'll just change my network. I am finding your voice is not coming clearly. I will just log out and log in again. I will change the network and log in again. Okay, just hold on.